Maybe you have seen these headlines. More women are becoming moms later in life, especially right here in the DC area. But what does that really mean for their health, their careers, and the day-to-day living? Health coach and mom Daffney Allwein joins us to talk about the unique challenges and unexpected strengths, there's good news here, of navigating motherhood in your late 30s and 40s. Thank you for being here. I'm not going to cry.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is great.
Is it true that, especially here in the DC area, we are becoming moms later in life, 30s, 40s?
It's incredible, and it's a great experience, and I'm glad we got to chat about that.
Yeah.
I have noticed, and I have had the express opportunity to be in the DMV for 20 years, health coaching, and just seeing that big generational shift. Seeing the intentional creation of moms to making that decision that this is going to be something that now medically I can put off.
Right. What does that do to us though in general when you are having children later in your life? It's hard. Is it harder on your body? You're in a different place in your career. What does that all mean?
That's an excellent question because we go into, and we all know that if you are over 35 and you are going into the obstetrician, you are you are geriatric. And no one wants to hear that. So I always think it's really important that if you are going to make that choice, that the condition and the health and the thought you put into ahead of pregnancy makes all the difference.
You work with a lot of high performance women as well. So they're excelling in their career, I'm sure, before motherhood comes along. What are some of the biggest challenges that they are facing then in their 30s and their 40s?
I think the choice to put off, and we have the science now that we can freeze our reproductive opportunities too, which is huge, is they are deciding for themselves that they're going to do motherhood differently. And we know statistically moms don't make partner as soon as dads do, and that there is some back and forth in the fact that you're really making a choice and you're stepping out of the fields, to do that. I had a client who actually scheduled her C-section specific so that she wasn't missed during a matter she was working on. So the really thoughtfulness, and I was glad to be in that coaching opportunity because the intention to be healthy going in, to have a healthy pregnancy, and then not forgetting that fourth trimester, after the fact, of taking care of that body, your body, and nourishing after the fact.
Yeah, because you do need to give back to your body after. I know you specialize in the wellness for the postpartum period. Even it kind of goes right into perimenopause then, because we are having children later in life.
And it looks very similar sometimes.
Does it really?
So it does, and it's one of those things where there's very similar concerns with our hormones, and we know mental health, as in postpartum, becomes a bigger factor into our 30s and 40s. Statistically, we're finding out that mothers at that later time are most susceptible to postpartum, or more susceptible to postpartum. And then we have to think about the bone density aspect of that. So babies are leaching and taking because they need it too. And it's really important for us to prioritize putting back into our bodies and making sure that we are at our best.
So why can I remember to take my prenatal vitamin the whole 9 months, and then when it comes to that fourth trimester, you're like, meh. And you forget about yourself and how much nutrients you need, even while you're breastfeeding.
It is a bold thing to say, but you have to be the number one. You have to be the foundational priority.
But we don't naturally, right?
It is true. It is true. There is just this overwhelming sense that we need to bounce back, we need to get back, that we're somehow being missed in our old environment. And now that we have this brand new brain, and as you know, that your brain is completely different. All your neural pathways are different. Your priorities are different. Making a foundational choice to nourish yourself is key.
Real quick, one piece of advice for a woman out there is trying to juggle it all. They want to have everything.
I have to tell you, there is no such thing as a lack of willpower in DC women. DC women are fierce and they are powerful. And anytime I think someone says, "Oh, I just don't have the willpower," that is not correct. But what we do have is a lack of priorities. So when I work with clients, I never, ever, ever take goals. I always say priorities. So there's a big difference in that. So we don't set goals, we set priorities, and that really just measures and makes your choices a lot easier.
a little bit of tears coming up right now. Thank you for the reminders and advice. You can learn more because this conversation is not over by going to liftprowellness.com and take care of yourself today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.